Hi everyone. This is a video in a series about our relationship with nature and one, the importance of our relationship with nature, but two, how we can actually have a relationship with nature by undoing some of the ideas we have about us, our relationship with nature, and about what reality is in general. And the underlying problem being that we actually hold unquestioned ideas about us in relation to this, to nature, that actually separate us from it, and are not that these ideas are not founded in anything scientific or anything that one would want to base a sense of reality in, and that it's equally possible to take other ideas that actually create a more meaningful life by connecting us to all of this, and by helping us feel and know that we actually belong as part of a greater whole, a greater reality. So, and in this one, I'd like to focus on two words, I guess, one of which is proof, and the other which is belief. And so proof and belief. Science is only capable of showing us what science shows us. The questions we ask, the way we ask questions in science show us a particular part of reality. So the question remains open as to whether there is a reality that is much wider, deeper than shown to us by science. And if we restrict ourselves to proof and verification of that kind, then we restrict ourselves to potentially to a narrow part of reality. It's clear from the world's religions, the world's mystical wisdom traditions, that there's another way, another kind of proof, another kind of knowing, a different kind of knowledge that is available to us as humans. And there may be many kinds of knowledge other than the scientific one. And very valid in the case of this particular video on belief is a quote from St. Augustine, a fairly well-known quote that runs something like this: "Do not try to understand so that you may believe. Rather, believe so that you may understand." In the realm of mystical understanding of the world, what St. Augustine is saying, that it's necessary to have belief first before understanding. You have to take that step of belief in something greater than what meets the eye in order to have experience of it, and therefore to receive the proof that belief relates to a reality, right? So that if we try to understand in order to believe, we try to find proof first, we never get there. We never get to that greater reality, because doubt keeps us at a certain level. And this is the sort of basis of St. Augustine's quote. So that there's a kind of experiment, a scientific experiment that we could run, which involves actually believing in something before you think you have proof in it. This is very shocking to us Westerners, because believing in something without proof is a great no-no. This is something we do not do in our society. It's regarded very badly, the idea that you might believe something without proof. And so it's a difficult thing for us to do. It's a difficult experiment for us to run. Nevertheless, I'm suggesting that that experiment may be necessary, that we might actually have to believe something in the realm of the mystical, in the realm of understanding components of life that go beyond what obviously meets the eye, that we may actually have to do it this way in order to find out that it really exists or not. In terms of our relationship with nature, we tend to think that we know what nature is, right? We tend to think that all of this around us, I basically, or scientists do, know what all of this stuff is and how it works. And so, no great mystery there or anything. It's just, it is what it is. The tree, we know how it works roughly. The rocks, we know where they came from, etc., etc. We basically know. So, really no need to see anything more, to believe anything more. However, in the interests of running a scientific experiment, why would we not suspend this disbelief and choose belief instead? Choose the belief that there is something more than meets the eye, that it is not just rocks made of minerals with crystalline atomic structures and trees going through known biochemical processes. It's not just that. There actually is something more to be experienced, known and experienced out here, but known in a different way than scientific proof, scientific experiments can show us. Known through our own consciousness in relationship to potentially to the consciousness that's out here in everything. For that, we might require a kind of belief. We might actually have to go on a hike and decide that it's true, that there's something more, there's something mysterious, there's a greater truth, a kind of intelligence that lies behind all of this, and that each thing, even the rock, is in its own way kind of alive. It's a God, it's a kind of consciousness, a kind of beingness to it. We might have to believe that, and then if we were to be courageous and keep believing it, perhaps we might actually start to feel it, to experience it, and then we'd be faced with a real decision. Am I going to go with this as my reality, or am I going to stick around in the mode of doubt? And I would suggest that's up to you, but if one continues the experiment, this experience will deepen, and to the point where one actually becomes convinced. One feels like one has received proof that there is indeed more to this world than meets the eye, and that there are other ways of being in relationship, of contacting this natural world, that actually put us in deep connection with it, put us in deep relation with it, such that we belong to something greater than ourselves, that we actually want to belong to. This world starts to feel much more like our home than something alien to us, different than our own nature. So the experiment really involves trying belief out, just not in something particularly specific, but in there being something greater, something beyond, some mystery involving a deeper, wider intelligence behind what meets the eye, especially out in nature. Try it out. Thank you.